Remember, you're listening to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that covers everything from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. Till we meet again. I'm legally distinct skeleton mob boss.
You did it. You did an intro. Good job. Well, I'm Sam.
I'm Cody.
And we have a fantastic show for you all this week. Thank you all for tuning in. A lot of news, believe it or not. But first, let's talk about some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
Yep. Okay. So things we've been doing. So the big thing that I did was I watched the Junji Ito and Adult Swim cartoon Uzumaki. I watched all one episode of it and it was a great single episode that is only one episode. It's a shame there's no more of it. Just that one episode.
There.
And they just stopped there. It's so sad that they did.
And the Junji Ito curse did not rear its ugly head.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Ugly in specific.
Yes. No, I am joking. So, Uzumaki is probably Junji Ito's one of his most popular, most well-known horror
Definitely
mangas.
his more iconic work.
Between that and Tomy, I think are the two that people really know. Although the occurence at the Amigara fault, skeeves me the hell out. Just skeeves me right out.
Ugh, yeah.
But Cartoon Network, specifically Adult Swim, decided to adapt Uzumaki for television.
They announced this 5 years ago.
A long time ago.
Like literally, it was 5 years.
Yeah. And boy, that first episode looked great.
It was fantastic. It did justice to the manga.
Yeah.
Which is something historically they've not been able to do with any
the live action.
Any Junji Ito adaptation at all is just not.
It's not as great. Although Gyo is pretty okay. The animated one about the robot, the fish with the robot legs.
Was that an OVA?
Yeah,
that's probably why. And it was during the time when
you could do that.
Yeah, there was budget for that.
Yeah. But got through the first episode. There's 2 episodes out now, I believe, out of 4. So there's 4 total. Flipped on the second one and noticed something strange. I noticed characters just kind of sliding around the screen, kind of like they're being clicked on and drugged with a mouse on a computer.
There's a specific part where the main character is walking up the staircase in a lighthouse where they loop it like in a way that just looks awful.
There is such, and like I understand there are drops in quality and animation, and for example, older cartoons, the intro always looks better than the actual show. For example, the intro to Gem and the Holograms, amazing.
Oh yeah,
looked rotoscoped. It looked awesome. The show itself kind of sucks, and I'm pretty okay with giving them the benefit of the doubt. But the decline in animation quality was so drastic.
Especially with something like Uzumaki that deserves good animation.
And because they took 5 years to do it.
To do 4 episodes of it, yeah.
Yeah, they could have done 1 episode a year and still had a year off in that time if they wanted to.
I think they did the first episode and somebody at Warner...
Zaslav?
Yeah, said, this is too expensive.
Yes.
Get someone else to do it.
Get someone cheap. And just do it. Yeah, there was actually, I think it was either the executive producer or one of the producers. It's deleted now, but did a really frank Reddit thread where he basically
it was Blue Sky.
Oh, it was Blue Sky. Blue Sky.
A Blue Sky post.
I don't keep track of the social medias these days. They're all kind of the same to me. But he basically said, yeah, we had our budget slashed drastically, and we were looking at either having it never be released or release it in the state that it's in. And he goes, I couldn't just throw it in the trash because we worked so hard on this. But man, part of me is like, you should have just tossed it. You should have just went, nope, I think we're good. And
tax write-off.
Yeah.
I don't.
At least that way.
The episode was so good, though.
Yeah, it was so good. But if they would have said, okay, we're canning it, it's a tax write-off, then we could just blame Zaslav like we usually do about this kind of stuff. Now we have to go and look at the animators that did this and just how
No,
terrible.
It's still Zaslav.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's still Zaslav.
It's
but
still the budget. It's not the animators' fault. They were doing the best they could
that's
with
true,
what they were given.
but now there's like layers from the fan anger to Zaslav. There are blocks in between. I just wanted that direct straight line.
Not this Panama Canal of hate.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I
Yeah.
might have to use that at some point.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm still gonna watch the other 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm already in this far, and the story's
story
good.
is still good. Yeah, but
I've been watching it with Samantha, and I have read the manga, and she has not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to watch her watch Uzumaki
Yeah.
and see the weird stuff that happens.
I bet it is. Yeah. That actually reminds me. I thought I was only going to have one check them out. I'm going to do another one very quickly. So I get bored at work. I bounce around on YouTube finding weird stuff. And I came across a YouTube channel called Reelin' It with Asia and BJ. It's this couple that I don't know if they've lived under a rock or what, but they've never seen. It's like, no, I haven't seen that, turned up to 11. And they do running commentaries of popular movies that everybody
haven't
has seen, but they've never seen. And it's really fascinating watching someone react for the first time to Young Frankenstein
Wow.
Oh.
See, I've seen that one.
and reacting for the first time to Blazing Saddles and reacting to the first time to The Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
I don't know. They've done Die Hard. I haven't watched that episode yet. There are movies that they have done first time watches that I don't know how they got
Away.
through nearly 30 years of their lives not seeing these films. It's unreal. And it's really interesting getting not only the fresh eyes for the first time, but getting a different perspective on these kind of movies.
Like somebody that is not engrossed in the pop culture osmosis.
It took them a good solid 20, 30 minutes to get into Blazing Saddles because they didn't quite understand what the joke was. They were just looking at
Surface level stuff.
certain people saying certain things to certain other peoples and were not especially into it. But eventually they kind of got the joke and moved on and it had a better time with it. By the end, they loved it.
Okay.
But it's just really interesting. Our circles we're all pretty up on popular culture.
Oh, yeah.
We experience a lot of these kind of things. And the people that we know and are related to also
Know
have
these things.
And have experienced these things. It's really fascinating to see someone who has never experienced
Dip
something
their toe in this.
that is otherwise world renowned
Yeah. Huh.
and react to it for the first time. It's really good. And their production, it's, they use nice cameras. There's no like real hard cuts or anything like that. So it's, pretty static camera for the most part.
Yeah.
They splice in the scenes every now and again. What they do is they do the full commentary, put that up on their Patreon. What they put on YouTube, they basically chop out the bits where they're just sitting and watching it quietly. So you get an hour and a half movie shrunk down to about 40 minutes of them reacting to things.
So like they hit like the high points.
Hit the high points. Yeah. It's interesting. They watched The Mask for the first time, and it was really interesting. One of them didn't really know Jim Carrey, and the other one went, "Oh, it's that guy from In Living Color."
That's where they
Of all the
know
things,
it
and then he did a Fire Marshal Bill impression.
yeah. All right.
But it's just interesting. I don't know. It's just interesting. So yeah, if you have a little bit of time, go on YouTube, check them out. They seem like nice folks.
What was
And
it called again?
Reelin' It with Asia and BJ.
Okay. I'm assuming reeling it. It's REEL.
REELIN apostrophe it.
Like
yeah.
film reel. All
Yeah.
right.
Like from real.
Speaking of films, I saw Frankie Frico on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hype it up too much, but maybe the best movie ever.
I thought you were gonna pull the Bob Belcher bit. Like, I don't want to oversell it, but it changes you.
It changes you. It does.
Yeah. So yeah, Frankie Frico, we talked about it a few weeks ago, right? The
Yeah.
trailer for basically it was a spin-off parody. Early starts as a parody of those old Freddy Freaker
Phone line
Call.
commercials.
Yeah.
They turned that concept into like it's like a Gremlins or a
Oh, cool.
or a Puppet Master, or just
Okay.
little guys that want to kill you. It's a little guys that want to kill you movie.
Excellent. Okay.
Through
yeah.
the lens of that and by the people that did Psycho Gorman, so it's ridiculous.
So it's ridiculous. Yeah. That sounds. I want to see this. It looks fantastic.
It is worth seeing.
Yeah.
It is playing at the Gateway
Oh,
right
it is.
now.
Okay, cool.
So it is worth going to see.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much I want to talk about it because you should just go see
Just
it.
go see it?
It's
Okay.
very, very funny and very weird and so different than anything else you could go see right now.
Yeah, I might have to run down and see it because it would be really interesting to see something to that extreme kind of weirdness on a big screen.
The other people in the theater were loving it. Like it was it was a good movie.
Excellent.
Like the
Good
vibes
time.
were there. The
But
vibes
yeah,
were
the
there.
vibes were there. The puppets look like garbage, but in a way that is endearing and fun. And like for the entire first part of the movie with them, they're running around and looking ridiculous. Like
Excellent.
the way a little puppet skitters around, it's funny every time.
Cool.
Like Gremlins.
Yeah. So it's like purposeful, kind of low budget looking a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, but
yeah.
not in a way that feels
Cheap.
cheap. Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like making puppets like that anymore is probably more on the niche high end now.
Sure.
Because a lot of people, don't really make practical things.
They just go to
anymore.
CG.
Yeah.
And every puppet looks good and interesting. It might not move incredibly well, but that's also
fine.
like kind
The
of
point.
the joke.
Kind of the
it's the
charm.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you catch Rich Evans of Red Letter Media's voice in there? Apparently he is like a mob boss or something.
Oh, I wonder if he's President Munch,
He might be.
the main bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his voice sounds like. So
Yeah, the Red Letter Media guys have been getting into doing quite a bit of voice acting. They show up regularly on Smiling Friends.
Oh.
Is that the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mike was on the first episode. He was the guy that they were trying to say.
Oh,
He-
Desmond.
He
Desmond.
was doing his Mr. Plinkett voice in
Ah.
it. Yeah. Okay.
So the Angry Video Game Nerd is also in that episode.
Oh, really?
He's the they go to a theme park called Dave Land, and it's just themed around like some guy
Named Dave.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
And-
Nice.
And the AVGN is Dave
He's Dave. Okay, cool.
because he is just some guy.
he's just some guy. Yeah, basically.
I thought you were going to tell me he was the guy living in the wall.
no.
Well, Josh, have you done anything?
Yeah, I did a couple things.
Sure.
I just finished Delicious in Dungeon,
Oh, yeah.
The
the anime about eating monsters in a dungeon.
the best anime to come out in the past couple of years.
It's really good.
It is.
It's really good. I'm glad they're getting another season because it ends on it just ends.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, they don't try to wrap anything up.
Okay,
No.
so it's just,
No.
yeah, gotcha.
It's almost like they knew.
Yeah. See, the concept for this show feels like a video game to me, almost.
Well, yeah.
Because it's based on
It's based on it, kind of.
well, it's heavily like inspired by the wizardry games,
Gotcha. Okay.
like old school dungeon crawlers. Like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the whole show is just very good, and I like all of the characters that are in it. Everyone's kind of weird in their own little ways.
And well written enough to feel real in
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird way.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like they're deep characters.
Yeah, like everybody's not everybody's, but people's like past and their weird quirks kind of come out eventually, and like everyone kind of like, well, this guy's kind of weird, but I get it.
Everybody likes Chill Chuck, right?
Eh,
Like people online, like Like,
Chilchuck
no?
feels like the
I-
straight man.
I think the people that you follow online happen to like
Oh,
Chilchuck.
that makes
I don't
sense.
think
Okay.
I don't think he's a big
He's a big-
cultural phenomenon or anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I said,
All right.
he is pretty much the straight man in this cast of weirdos.
Oh, I see. All right.
Because
All right.
he is the most sensible. He's the most sarcastic. He's very much the I am a halfling rogue and I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
I love Marcel, and I love that she seemingly is just a good girl wizard at first, but then later it turns out that like she's actually into some weird magics.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Without
right.
getting spoilery, she's kind of delves in forbidden magics.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and it does cause a lot of issues down the line.
Who's the guy with the beard? I like his design probably the most.
Senshi.
Senshi.
Since
the
she's
dwarf.
great,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like his design a lot.
Senshi the dwarf, I love him.
Yeah.
And
Also,
Sun-
he's easy to animate because you never see his mouth.
Senshi, for whatever reason, makes me think of like the CalArts style a little bit in the stills that I've seen.
Kinda, he does kind of have like the kind of like the low budget Ghibli face,
Yeah.
like Radish Man in Spirited Away, and stuff like that. He does have a very plain face, which is funny later when they run into the. Now you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, when they run into the monsters that copy people,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
but they're always a little off.
just a little off. Got it. All
and
right.
said she's was unnaturally handsome.
well, yeah, they get their races switched
No,
around.
I'm talking about the other time when there's all the doppelgangers.
Yeah, but this is both the thing. Since she becomes an elf for a while.
Oh yeah. They
Oh,
step through a
okay.
fairy ring of mushrooms, and when they wake up, they're all different.
The dub is really good too.
Oh yeah, the dub is fantastic. Actually, I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I was like, you know what? I like it. I like the dub.
Sungwon Cho does a great job as Senshi,
Excellent.
and Nami from live action One Piece is Marcille.
Oh, really?
It's like her first voice acting role, and she does a really good
she does
job.
a really good job.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I love the whole. I love everybody. Honestly,
Oh, and Chilchuck is Shinji from the Netflix dub of
Oh, okay.
Evangelion.
All right. That's.
I thought I
that's
thought he
fine.
sounded really familiar. But then I've also been watching a brand new anime that's only got 2 episodes out. But apparently other places in the world might have more because I keep seeing clips with other scenes I've never seen. But it's called Dan to Dan, and it has a really wild opening. Like the music is really fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like it almost reminds me of like the pillows for like Fully Cooley.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Like the whole
nice.
vibe of the show kind of reminds me of like Fully Cooley and like Dead Leaves. You want to talk
Oh,
about
nice.
like
Like-
obscure, older, weird anime?
Like early Trigger kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay.
It's so good. But I guess the elevator pitch is you have this girl. She's kind of weird. She's obsessed with this one Japanese actor that was like, I guess, I don't know, really popular back in the day. And she's always like, she's trying to find a guy that has those attributes or whatever.
Okay.
And then her, like the first episode, like her boyfriend dumps her or whatever. And then she runs into the, I guess, the weirdo nerd who's getting kind of picked on, and she kind of like hovers over him for like a second to kind of make everybody leave him alone. But then he's like, oh wait, I might have actually made a friend somehow. So he gets all excited and he chases her down and he's talking to her about aliens. And she's like, dude, get away from me. I don't believe in aliens. You're weird. Now, ghosts, on the other hand,
Okay.
she believes in ghosts. So they decide they're going to have a bet. You go here where aliens are known to show up, and you go here where ghosts are known to show up, and whoever's right has to do something.
Well, I'm interested now.
Yeah, that sounds-
you've got my attention.
Ghosts and aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and they actually turn out to both be right.
Oh.
She ends up getting abducted by aliens, and he ends up getting possessed by a ghost.
Oh, wow. All right. All right.
And she comes from a shrine, and her grandmother is a
Shrine maiden
is a
kinda
shrine
thing.
maiden
Yeah.
priestess, whatever. And so she has like latent psychic abilities or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay, of course you do. And but then like then he gets possessed by the ghost, and he gets like ghost superpowers.
Nice. All right.
But yeah, it's I really, really like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this one out. That sounds pretty interesting.
I'm probably gonna watch this when I get home.
yeah.
Yeah, there's like there's 2 episodes on Netflix. There's also 2 episodes on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Same episodes.
The,
I've been watching it in the dub, and it's actually pretty decent.
The Ranma remake anime just started on Netflix too. I watched
Yeah.
the first episode of that. It's the first episode of
Ranma.
Ranma.
Okay, sure. All right. All right.
I did see online a comparison of like old Ranma and new Ranma. And you know what? I like Rumiko Takahashi. I will probably eventually get there. I do like Ranma.
Yeah.
I own the first handful of manga.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird if you watch the old Ranma, like in the dub, because you have the voices, but then the Inuyasha voices take over. Like the Inuyasha,
really?
The Inuyasha dub voices.
I was
take
not
over.
aware of that. Okay.
And then like all of a sudden Ranma sounds like Inuyasha,
oh, all right.
or at least boy Ranma. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the caveat of Ranma 1/2. He's a girl and a boy because he turns into a girl when he gets doused with cold water.
He's a turbo teen.
A what?
A turbo teen. The teen
turns
that
into a car.
that teen that turns into a car when he gets hot
Oh.
or when he eats spicy food or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ranma turns into a girl with cold water and a boy with warm water. Is
Hot-
that right?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
am I
yeah,
got
yeah.
it backwards?
Yeah.
No, it's cold. Cold water achieves the transformations for all the characters who have curses.
And his dad is cursed to turn into a panda because they fought over a bunch of springs in China that are cursed.
Huh.
Yeah, like there was like the spring of the drowned maiden or whatever. And
Yeah.
that's what Ranma fell into.
And his dad fell into the spring of the drowned panda.
And there's a pig, a cat,
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
And Turbo Teen turns into a car because he got shot with a space laser while being inside his car. So if he eats spicy food, he turns into a car
But why spicy food though?
because they couldn't just say hot. Well, it's technically when he gets hot.
Oh,
So if he's out in the sun for too long, whoops, I'm a car.
I can't go to the beach. I'll turn into a car.
Oops, body horror. Here
Yeah.
we go. Also, Jack Kirby was on the production staff for Turbo Teen. He did the
Really?
original designs, like the character model sheets.
Oh, no.
For Turbo Teen.
Well, you'd think it would look better.
And that show is lost media. Technically, there are a handful of episodes that are just gone, and there are a couple that are only in German.
oh,
Yes. So lost media, Turbo Teen.
Alte Lieben.
Yeah.
I had watched the original Ranma not too long ago, so it's still kind of in my head watching the new one, and they're both good.
Oh, cool.
Like I said, I like Rumiko Takahashi's stuff.
Yeah.
Like I really liked Ranma 1/2. I really liked Inuyasha. I still haven't watched the sequel to Inuyasha. I've heard it's not very good.
Yashahime.
Yeah, Yashihime, the half demon princess. There are elements in that I am not comfortable with.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I keep meaning to like. Oh, Yurishi Asura got a newer one too, and I need to watch that too.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
one
man.
of Rumiko's like old ones.
Oh man, what if they get Matt Lucas to come back and do the British dub of the new one? Oi, what's all this then? Like they just did a joke
Yeah.
dub where they're all like Cockney and yeah, it's great. It's great. All right. Well, you know what? We actually have one more check 'em out that we're going to do.
This is a group
in
one.
real time. It's a group one, live on air. Someone set this up. What's the gimmick here? While I get this ready.
Well, let's see. In 1998, an animated series premiered on Nickelodeon starring an undersea sponge who lives in a pineapple.
Yes.
And he's become a cultural phenomenon ever since.
Yeah, and also the restaurant Wendy's. So that's right. We are all going to try the new gimmick Krabby Patty live on air. Right now,
It has taken 100 years.
Yes, Krabby Patties are based on SpongeBob's workplace, the Krusty
Krusty
Krab.
Krab.
Yeah, they make cheeseburgers. Although I think they're technically supposed to be fish food that they make into burgers. Basically.
The creator has canonically said that Krabby Patties are vegetable in origin.
Yeah,
Right.
they're non-meat, but
Yeah.
these are
meat. It would have been kind of funny if they would have done a non-meat, like a Impossible Burger
Or
Krusty
like
Krab.
a imitation crab meat would have been
That would have
funny.
been good, yeah. Okay, are we ready?
They're nice and cold.
They are. Yes, they've been sitting. They've been sitting on my coffee table for at least an hour and a half.
It'll be all right.
So it's okay. Here we go. Ready? Let's do this.
So far, it just tastes like a Wendy's burger.
Yeah, this is a Dave single.
Yeah, this is a single.
Oh, there's
Single
the
cheese.
there's the little bite in the back.
Yeah. So that special sauce, what do you think that is?
Man, I'm not getting any.
Yeah, not so much. I'm just
They
gonna
didn't put-
open up the thing and just get a fingerful of.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's kind of toward the back of my burger.
It's almost like a spicy Thousand Island,
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
like
Like a
Yeah.
or like a mayo aioli or something like that.
It's definitely Thousand Island and
with like
something.
with like I don't know, pepper flakes maybe.
Pepper flakes, or like I said, or Chipotle. Or
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
Chipotle,
Yeah.
but what's the stuff that people go nuts over? The hot sauce.
Sriracha.
Sriracha. It's a sriracha Thousand Island.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what it
maybe.
is.
I mean, when I think Krabby Patty, though, I don't think that it would be spicy.
Yeah,
And this is not really spicy. I would not.
it's
call
not.
this
No,
spicy.
no, I wouldn't
no.
call it spicy.
It just has kind of a.
It's got a gimmicky bite to it.
Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? I'm really feeling it.
Oh no, I like it.
Mr. Krabs.
I'm really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Yeah, this isn't bad. I kind of, for a
Yeah.
gimmick burger, it's not terrible.
You like it, Squidward?
It's fine. I don't know.
It's fine. They could have done something. They could have done something a little different with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I expected it to have kind of like a tropical flavor to it.
Yeah, like some grilled pineapple or something
Yeah.
on it. You know, I know that's asking a lot for Wendy's to have like a grilled pineapple or whatever.
Red Robin has a grilled pineapple burger that is amazing.
Oh, I bet it is. I
Yeah.
bet it is.
So
But,
good.
but,
Yeah.
but then you've got a 50-50 chance you're going to have diarrhea afterwards.
Oh yeah, you play diarrhea roulette every time you go to Red Robin.
Red Robin.
I've never
Yeah.
had a problem with Red Robin.
Really?
Well, then you've
I won.
I need some of your luck because
Yeah,
for reasons.
every other time I go to Red Robin, it happens. We
Yeah.
used to go there quite a bit back in the day.
Yeah, and it was like a 50-50 shot, honestly.
Yeah, one of us was gonna,
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
have a reaction.
Yes.
Have a bad
yes.
time.
All right. Well, I would say this is a success. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. It's good. It's not blowing my socks off,
No.
but it's good.
No, it's good. It's you know, I'd say it's F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for any time and anywhere at all under the deep blue sea with this burger.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's fine. I'm not gonna cry a sweater of tears about it. I think it's wasted potential, though.
Yeah. They could have done something. Well, again,
For a gimmick burger, it could have been gimmickier.
When you're creating such an iconic sandwich that the world has wanted to eat for so long, and then you just kind of make a Dave's single with some sauce on it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a letdown, but it's not bad.
it's not bad. You know what? I would say if they, after this promotion is over, if they take the sauce from this and put it in cups for their chicken nuggets, this would make a really good chicken nugget sauce.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and finish up these burgers while we take a break. And when we come back, we will stop slopping into the mics and get into some news.
I don't promise I'm not going to slop into this mic anymore.
Hey, have you tried the chips and salsa in this place?
Nah, man, you know my stomach can't handle this stuff.
Mine couldn't either till I started listening to Long Play.
Long play? That sounds delicious. Tell me more.
I noticed a difference immediately after tuning into my first episode on a Friday night at 11. If it's still coming back on you, you could also catch Long Play on Saturday at 3 or Sunday at 4. Believe me, relief is just a listen away.
Okay, guys, we have finished our burgers. We have wiped the delicious sauce from our lips. And now we can get into the news. That's right, the news.
my lips still feel a little warm.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It
yeah.
could just be allergies. I
It
don't
could
know.
be the allergies, though. That's true. They've been tough. They've been tough the last couple days. Anyway, let's start at the top. We have a bunch of, I want to say, moderate level news. So nothing groundbreaking, but
My-
there's a lot of it. So let's do it.
My allergies were so bad yesterday that I went to bed at 8:30.
Oh, really? Do you know what's probably going to play at 8:30? the new Big Bang Theory spinoff.
Good segue.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow, you derailed from getting off track. there.
I'm back
onto
on the
track.
track.
You
yeah.
stopped it.
I
You-
stopped it. We're efficient today. That's right. No, there's announcement that they are working on another Big Bang Theory spinoff. Nothing has been set in stone, but they have cast former members of the, I want to say, the B Squad on those last couple seasons.
Yeah.
So I think his name's Kevin Sussman, who was Stuart, the comic shop owner.
Yep.
Brian Posehn, who was one of the other scientists that eventually became like part of the
He should
supporting
do a
cast.
voice on the Among Us show with a name like that.
He,
though, right?
it's us. That's right.
Sussman.
And Lauren Lapkus, who was added as like an employee of the comic shop. So all signs are pointing to it being a workplace sitcom set at the comic shop, which is a good way to have cameos from different people come back in from
Yeah,
time to
because they're
time.
just coming into the shop.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they haven't done a show that takes place in a comic shop before.
They had the Clerks TV live action that failed and the animated series that failed. But yeah.
It doesn't take place in a comic.
Oh, that's
shop.
right. They just talked about
Comics all the
Yeah.
time.
stuff all the time. I am not surprised at all that this was coming. It really felt like, so I watched Big Bang Theory. It was fine. I mean, it felt some of the jokes seemed a little mean-spirited towards folks that are into pop culture and stuff.
Anything is funny if you put enough laugh track on it.
That's, you know what? That's a good point. Hey, that's our show.
Do we need a laugh track for this show? Would that work better?
Let's try it. Yeah, you know what? That felt pretty okay. That's all right. The last season, they were introducing a lot of new characters to the outside of the core four guys who were all married off and doing their own thing on the show. And it seemed like they were building up a lot of the comic shop stuff. Stuart, who was a one-time joke seasons and seasons earlier, was bumped up to supporting cast.
Yeah, wasn't he like Sheldon's kind of like pseudo rival there? For a
No,
while?
that was Kripke. That was the scientist that didn't know pop culture stuff and had the couldn't say his R's.
Oh, right.
Wow,
Stuart
that
was.
sounds mean.
It was. Kripke was one of the worst characters.
That sounds really mean spirited.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But Stuart is like the polar opposite of Kripke, because Kripke was the scientist that didn't know pop culture and was just a dink. Stuart is the constantly depressed comic shop owner who knows all the pop culture stuff, but not the science stuff. And I think it could work.
Kind of reminds me of like what that 80s show tried to be. Like it was set like in the record store,
Oh, yeah.
like most of the time.
Yeah. I have a feeling this will get one season and be canceled, but I bet there's going to be a couple of nice gems of actual good bits in that one season.
Hey, maybe.
Is Young Sheldon done? Are they
Young
done with
Sheldon
that?
is done, but they are spinning off Young Sheldon into, what is it?
Old Sheldon.
Old Sheldon. No, it's what is it?
He's in a nursing home now.
It's young Sheldon's older sister who is going through her first marriage and divorce. So they're a bunch of
That sounds
down in the hills.
That sounds depressing.
But it's funny. It's a comedy. It's funny that they hate each other.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I wanted to watch a sitcom family hate each other, I mean,
There's plenty to pick from.
Yeah.
the sea is vast.
Yes. But I'll give it a shot. I'll watch an episode or two because I like the people that they've cast in it, as long as they're not punching down. As long as they're punching sideways at pop culture
and or upwards.
or upwards. Like, I could take a bit of ribbing about, we're into some goofy stuff that, we're pushing 40 and we are still talking
No,
about comic books
all
and movies.
the stuff I like is very cool.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. But like, I could take a joke, but as long as they're not like being maliciously like, oh, look how awful these nerds are.
Or making fun of someone for not being able to say R's.
Yes.
That
yeah.
sucks.
That sucks. Well, you know what? They never bring it up though. It was just a character affectation, but
Oh.
you're supposed to laugh at
Yeah,
his
I'm sure the
character
laugh
affectation.
track fired up for it a couple times.
a couple times. Yeah. All right, moving on. Nintendo.
Nintendo Alamo.
Yeah,
No, it's
remember the Alarmo.
Remember the Alarmo. Its full name, though, Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo.
Yes.
This is the okay. I love Nintendo, but this is one of the dumbest things they've ever done.
I think it's cool.
It's kind of neat. I won't get it.
No.
Yeah, the price point is too high.
Yeah.
Let's explain what it is.
Sure.
It's an alarm clock that plays Nintendo sounds at you when it goes off, and also like has motion sensing. So like when you stir around in bed when your alarm's going on, it plays fun Nintendo noises.
It plays stuff, and there's like a LCD screen, or not an LCD, but like a screen on it that has like a little mini like animated
An
story
LED
kind of thing.
screen.
LED, yeah. And you can set it to different games. It's not just Mario. It can be Legends of Zelda,
Splatoon,
yeah.
inexplicably Ring Fit Adventure.
Ring Fit Adventure for some reason. Yeah.
Which it has a banger soundtrack. I will say Ring Fit
Fit's
has
pretty
a good
great.
soundtrack.
I play Ring Fit from time to time.
Ring Fit is a good game.
It's a solid game, and my joints do hurt afterwards because of all of the exercise.
All of the squeezing.
That's yes, so much squeezing.
Oh, my squeezing arm.
Oh, I know that.
That's from Zim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's from Zim.
It was
Yeah,
Zim's
yeah.
robot dad when his
Yeah.
arm blew off.
Oh, my squeezing arm. Why my squeezing arm?
I don't know why that bit has always stuck out with me.
Because it's good. It's a good bit.
It's a good bit. But the big problem with Alarmo is that it's $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to spend $100 on a alarm clock, no matter how cool it is.
No. I bought a $30 alarm clock that charges my phone.
Alarmo doesn't do that.
No,
No.
Alarmo doesn't do that.
Also, it doesn't work if you are not sleeping alone. So, make your jokes about Nintendo knowing their fan base here.
I was just about to say, so it's not going to. It's a non-issue.
Yeah.
then. But yeah, it's weird that it doesn't work if there's multiple people. That's kind of weird, especially because there are Nintendo branded sleep things that do work with multiple people in the bed. The Pokemon Sleep, the Go Plus Plus, the Puck works with multiple people in the bed because it picks up relatively close to it. So I don't know.
Okay.
I do like the design that it has going for it. Like the top is a dial.
Yeah.
And it looks really cute. Like
It looks cool.
They did a good job with it, but it's
it's a very cartoony looking clock.
Yeah.
yeah, it's also something that no one asked for and no one needs.
I am wondering if it's eventually going to have Switch 2 compatibility. If there's going to be some sleep-based Ring Fit game. Ring Fit 2, sleep it off.
I think that makes too much sense.
Oh, yeah.
And Nintendo won't.
Oh, I mean, it's Rusty's real cool baseball again, but you hit the ball by sleeping.
I like Rusty's
Real deal baseball.
Real deal
yeah.
baseball. Yeah, I loved that game.
That was a great game.
Okay, I'm going to go through this next one quick because it's Power Rangers.
Yep, let's go.
So a few months back, we thank you for hitting the Power Rangers.
I actually didn't mean to press it. It's just really sensitive.
It's incredibly sensitive. Yeah. So yeah, the Power Rangers. A few months ago we talked about how Hasbro has decided to auction off their warehouse of old merch, not merch, but like props and things from the
Props
show.
and costumes.
Pretty much cementing that the 30-year run of Power Rangers
Is done.
is definitively done, and anything they do with the property is new from now on. A lot of people online were freaking out over it. I don't see it as that big of a deal because, listen, if they didn't auction it off, it has just been sitting in storage.
They were going
It
to
was
put it
gonna
in
rot.
they were going to put it in a dumpster.
They were going to throw it away.
Like the Next Generation bridge
Yeah.
was going to go to a dumpster until a guy restored it.
Yeah. So, and while I wish that there's a couple things that I think Hasbro screwed up with this,
because they're Hasbro.
because they're
and that's what they
Hasbro,
do.
it's not that they're auctioning things off. I feel like one, they should have kept a couple of the more recognizable things, like some of the miniature prop Zords or
Yeah.
whatever. Because I'm not saying they should make a Power Rangers museum, but I'm sure there is a television memorabilia museum somewhere.
Oh,
or
there's probably, they're probably all
history
over the
of
place.
of film and television that they could have donated and had like a little section. Because okay, Power Rangers is not a good show. One, it's for kids. Two, there are a number of seasons that were just objectively not very good. But you can't argue that in 93, 94, it was the hottest thing around.
Yeah.
And it deserved a little better treatment.
Oh yeah.
They could put a helmet in the Smithsonian, and I would
yeah,
not be
yeah,
upset.
that would be
the,
fine.
the original Kermit and the Mr. Rogers sweater are both in the museum.
Yeah, and they could have done something like that.
You could at least put a Power Ranger helmet and maybe a morpher, like
a
in a
morpher
case.
or something, or yeah, they could have saved a couple of. It
didn't have to be the whole thing.
Yeah, no, of course not. The other thing that I am especially not happy with is, so out of the 30 seasons of the show, about 99% of the cast are still around. They're still kicking. There's a couple that have passed away over the years, but for the most part, they're mostly all around.
Or gone to prison.
Oh, there's a couple that have gone to prison. Yeah, well, there's one in prison. There's one that's about to go to prison.
There's one that should go to prison.
And oddly enough, they're all Red Rangers. Weird.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, anyway, when they put all this stuff up for auction, it became very apparent that the actors were not given any kind of notice or any kind of first crack at any of the stuff. So you have situations where, for example, the actress Hunter Dino, she played Cosmic Fury Red, the first full season woman Red Ranger.
I would said Samurai, but yeah, she wasn't the full season.
Right, there was one episode.
Yeah.
That's why there's an asterisk there. But yeah, that's why I said full season.
Yeah.
She has to bid on her own costume and weapon along with everybody else.
Yeah.
Because
No, I'll bet her pockets aren't as deep as some people's.
absolutely not. Well, she was in the last season of it. So,
Rich nerds are ridiculous.
Yeah.
yes. I feel like at least one set of costumes that they still have should have been at least offered as like, hey, actor, hey, David Yost, hey, Walter Jones, do you want to buy this before we put it on the auction block? Give them the option, because it's things that they owned. It's things that they wore constantly. It's things that they
It was theirs.
spent a lot of time with. It was, for all intents and purposes, theirs.
Yeah.
And now they have to fight with, rich nerds with nothing better to do,
With expendable income.
with more dollars than cents.
Go
to-
Power Dan 69
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
on eBay.
Yeah. Zordon Lover 32 or something, whatever. They have to fight with them to try to get their own stuff. That sucks.
and then people wonder why actors walk off set with stuff.
yeah.
No,
oh
I'm-
yeah.
I'm
No.
serious.
On
I'm dead
Twitter.
serious.
On Twitter, the actress Dino, she just said, "I should have stolen it. I should have just taken it with me because this sucks."
Yeah. I mean, if Ryan Reynolds could walk off set with the Deadpool costume from the original Deadpool.
Well, that's a little different because he was also a producer on the movie.
Well, that's
so,
also
like,
true.
It's,
He
it's
did
technically
kind
his
of pay
any-
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's technically his anyway.
That's true.
But they could do like great Make-A-Wish stuff with
yeah.
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do kids want a Power Ranger to visit them in the hospital?
Back in the day.
But not now.
Not now. Well, again,
30-year-old men in the hospital might want a Power Ranger to visit them.
hey, that's fine. I'd have a Power Ranger come visit me in the in the hospital. It doesn't even have to be one of the popular ones. Get someone from Time Force. I don't care.
Time Force.
Actually, Time Force was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a season where the Red Ranger wasn't the leader. The Pink Ranger was, and she now does exclusively Hallmark Christmas movies. And she's a good actress. Erin Cahill.
Well, I mean, there's job security in doing Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hey, why not?
There's always a new one.
Rose McIver can visit me in the hospital.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. RPM Yellow? Or
Eyes
all
on
the
Me?
millions of other things that
Or
she has done that's more
Hallmark
popular.
Christmas movies.
Uh-huh. Netflix Christmas movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's Netflix.
Yeah, the Christmas Prince 1 through 3. Yeah. But it's weird. They could have handled it a little
Ghosts.
better.
That's the thing she's on now.
Yes, Ghosts.
Which is very good. It's
Yeah,
a good show.
it is a good show. Having said that, I am probably going to try to jump in for at least something. I won't get it. Not in a million
I went
years.
to the site and I couldn't I couldn't see the listings of the items.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the listings are there, but they don't. The bidding doesn't start until October 18th, and it runs for an entire month. And it's kind of like a silent auction sort of situation. So
okay.
there is an original screen used morpher that is up that I don't imagine would go for exorbitant prices,
You never
especially
know.
with all the other stuff that's there. There's a fully animatronic Finster head
Oh.
that is
Wow.
only kind of decaying.
So it doesn't look quite like the zombie Donatello.
It doesn't look like Zombie Donatello. Oh, that's right. This isn't just Power Ranger stuff. It also has.
It was all the other dumb
it was
Saban
TMNT,
crap,
the next mutation.
which was Saban.
All the turtle heads
Oh,
are there.
that was
Big bad
bad.
Beetleborgs are there.
The Mystic Knights of Tirnanog. Is there anything from that?
Yeah, I believe there's a couple things from that, and Masked Rider.
Oh
There's-
man.
when they tried to bring Kamen Rider to the United States.
Yeah, so there's just a full-on Kamen Rider RX costume that is up. That was screen used, and it was for the action shot, so it's actually built to be moved around in.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we got a couple quick hits here. Henry Cavill is going to be in a live-action Voltron show on Amazon. Also, apparently there's
He
going to
needs
be
to stop doing Amazon.
there apparently is going to be a live-action Voltron show on Amazon.
Well, does anybody really care about Voltron all that much? Anyway, actually, I take that back. The people that do care about that Netflix Voltron they
The
did,
animated one,
that was
yeah.
actually quite popular
It
when
was
it
really,
came out.
it was pretty popular. Yeah, very progressive. There were a lot of LGBT characters.
It
that
walked
was-
so She-Ra could run.
basically.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But hey, as long as Henry Cavill is still planning to do his Warhammer 40K show that is his absolute passion project because he
Loves 40K,
he is a tabletop gamer who loves 40K.
which I respect.
Yeah, oh yeah. But as long as that's still kind of on the table, cool. Do what you want. Listen, he's made all of his money with the Superman. He is at that point.
Actually, I think he probably made most of his money from the Witcher stuff.
Oh yeah, the Witcher stuff too. But he is to the point in his career where he doesn't have to take roles.
Oh yeah, he can be
He
super
can
selective,
choose what roles he wants to do because he's passionate about it.
or he thinks it might be a good joke,
Or it might be a good joke. Yeah,
like Deadpool
the
Wolverine.
Cavalrine. Yeah, that was really good. So there's a Tomb Raider remaster.
Yeah, and not the good. Like they remastered the first 3 Tomb Raiders, the good ones. It's a good remaster. I've played quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going back to the well to remaster the next 3.
the bad ones.
The bad ones, which
Hey.
is interesting because it kind of gives them a chance to like make them not so bad.
Kind of fix it a little. I mean, listen, every video game is someone's favorite game.
I don't think Tomb Raider: Angel of Darkness is anyone's favorite game.
Well, hey, some people have bad taste. You can't account for it.
That's the one I'm most interested in the remaster of because it was a garbage fire.
It was a
like,
mess.
a real huge mess.
Well, there was a What Happened about it. It was
What
so
happened?
bad.
yeah.
Yeah. What Happened is a YouTube.
I know.
No, I'm telling the people.
Oh, okay.
Is a YouTube channel or a miniseries that Matt McMuscles does where he takes video games, movies that had really
just tanked.
really hectic, bad development cycles and does like a deep dive on it. Interesting show. But yeah, weird. Hopefully they fix it.
It's gonna take a lot of work. There's
yeah.
a lot of weird things in that game.
Yep, sure is. So, okay, next up, a couple of cancellations. Chaos, the Jeff Goldblum Netflix show
About Greek gods.
about Greek gods that ended on a cliffhanger, from what I understand, got canceled.
Womp womp.
Which is wild. You can usually expect 2 seasons out of a Netflix show.
That's true.
Before it's unfairly canceled.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this one was unfairly canceled. I think it was just low ratings.
I heard-
People watched the first couple episodes and bounced off it.
I heard it wasn't very good.
I also heard it was
Maybe
not
they couldn't afford
especially
Jeff
great.
Goldblum. I
That's
don't know.
probably part
Yeah,
of it too. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
that's
a
true.
cheap show.
Yeah. And Velma, finally, the curse has been lifted. the awful Velma show
on HBO
on
Max.
HBO Max is not coming back.
It got canceled kind of in a weird way too because they did the Halloween special
Mm-hmm.
and a background artist like did an Instagram where they're like, I had fun working on the Halloween special, but we're not getting another season because it's canceled. And then he came back and said, actually, we're maybe not canceled. I don't know. You'll have to wait for something from Warner Brothers.
Oh.
And then right after that, it got canceled.
It got canceled. Okay, yeah.
He probably got yelled at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to retract his statement.
And then he was right all along anyway.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Background writer was right all along.
Yeah. Okay.
I tried to fit that into like an Agatha thing, and it didn't
Agatha.
work. It didn't work.
I've been hearing that is getting middling reviews, Agatha, all along.
Yeah. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's also not bad.
That's
It's
what I hear.
okay.
That's what I hear. It's like perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
I don't not like it, but
Yeah.
I just now remembered there's a new episode I haven't seen yet, so
Oh.
that's kind of telling.
All
Okay,
right.
well, there you go. Yeah. Okay, last thing on the docket. Let's talk about Joker 2.
Folly Adieu, which is probably more of a folly than they expected.
I was just about to make that joke, Josh. Yeah. It's one brain cell.
Yeah.
One brain cell. Here it is. Yeah, so it is bombing
horribly.
at a level that is currently beating Morbius.
Yeah, it's doing
And Madam Web.
it is doing worse than Morbius, which is really something.
Yes. For as popular as Joker 1 was, Joker 2 is that unpopular.
I guess we do live in a society.
A society that doesn't like Joker as much anymore.
I don't know. From everything I've read about it, it's not good. Lady Gaga's character is nothing like any Harley incarnation we've ever seen before.
Oh, Harley Quinn or Lee Quinn in name
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
I don't really care if she's anything like.
Well, no.
No, that's true. That's
no,
true.
no, but like they talk about like her character, like from what I've read is he doesn't want to be Joker. He really doesn't want
And
to.
she's trying to
and
force
she
him.
is goading, pushing him into it. And I guess there's some other stuff.
Kind of like how maybe they didn't want to do a sequel, but somebody, Warner Brothers, was pushing them into doing a sequel.
Just backed up a truck full of money
Yeah.
into their driveway, and they decided to do it.
Well, I got to clean up all this money.
Yeah. I'm actually, you know what? I don't like seeing things fail. I don't get catharsis out of
no.
that. However, Todd Phillips, the writer and director, has said in multiple interviews that he hates comic books, and he purposely ignored all communications with James Gunn, the head of the DC portion of Warner Brothers Studio, specifically because he's like, I'm not making a comic book movie. So you know what? I'm cool with this one not doing especially well.
I mean, to be fair, the first Joker was made before the shift.
True.
So
however,
James Gunn's vision wouldn't have been a part of this.
However, if you were at a job and your boss got replaced by, if you got a new supervisor, do you just not listen to your new supervisor
that's
because
true.
I was here before you, so therefore I'm not going to listen to you? I'm going to ignore texts and phone calls, which he did.
Yeah, okay. That's accurate. That's accurate.
So,
you know what? Yep, put it in the back rooms.
that's fine. And apparently, they're at the premiere, the screening. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga were sitting next to each other, and there's video of them that kind of after the movie's over, leaning over, talking to each other. And someone who can read lips figured out what Joaquin
What
Phoenix,
they were saying?
and it essentially boiled down to was, what the F was this? What is this?
You know, sometimes I forget the disconnect between the actors making the product.
The movie is made in
fi-
editing.
and
Yeah.
the final product.
The movie is absolutely made in
So,
editing.
Yep.
You know, people talk about like wanting to interview actors about these roles or whatever. What their experiences are going to be completely different than
Their
the
ex-
audience's experiences.
Their experiences are like 10 to 20% compared to
What we get.
what we get with editing, music, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
People don't realize how powerful editing is and
Yeah.
how important good editing is.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on our socials, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitch, or support our Patreon. All of those are at links.nerdoverload.com.
You can fire us off an email to staff@nerdoverload.com or give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. The number is 740-229-9562.
What question should they answer?
Give us your review of the Krabby Patty.
Yeah,
that's an easy
go
one.
out, get a Krabby Patty, call in, let us know what you think.
Not sponsored by Wendy's.
No, absolutely not. I'd take their money.
Oh yeah.
But
If Wendy's wanted
if they
to
wanted to
sponsor
sponsor,
us,
they
yeah.
could, but no, yeah. Anyway, you can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us out on the show, who's actually going to be on in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
He's going to be talking about horror movies. And finally, David Pencil for our intro and outro. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Till we meet again.